The world is full of mysteries, and it's human nature to find out answers to them. In the case of the Iceman's death, the answer evolves as scientists keep finding new evidence. It was first believed that the Iceman got lost in a storm and had died in the cold weather. However, with the discovery of an arrowhead in his body, scientists concluded he was actually murdered. What other cases of mysteries do you know? Now, let's have a look at some of the world's mysteries and their explanations. We're going to talk about 4 things in today's lesson. First, we'll discuss how people try to understand mysteries. Second, we'll go into the mystery of the deadly Bermuda Triangle. Third, we are going to explore the Nazca lines of Peru. And fourth, we'll discover the secret of the mystery spot. There is a saying in English, curiosity killed the cat. Cats may have a reputation for their curiosity, but new research suggests humans are programmed to be curious as well. This is why for thousands of years, humans have searched for answers to the great mysteries of our world. Many people throughout history have looked to the paranormal for these answers. The paranormal means anything that cannot be explained by science. Examples of the paranormal include ghosts and UFOs. And we can't discuss the paranormal without mentioning the Egyptian pyramids of Giza. The Egyptian pyramids of Giza are world famous for being some of the most impressive structures in history. But who exactly built them? Since it's difficult to find a clear scientific answer, people turn to the paranormal. Some people argue that it was aliens. Because of their precise measurements, location, and position, our ancestors would have been unable to build them. They say that 4,600 years ago, we did not have the technology or means to construct such massive and complex architecture. Instead, the pyramids were constructed by using the technology of alien visitors. Their superior technology allowed the Egyptians to build the pyramids. The Egyptians, in turn, worshipped these alien visitors as gods. Another paranormal belief is about ley lines. Ley lines are lines of energy that circle the Earth and connect important sacred sites, like the Egyptian pyramids and the Great Wall. If you look at these sites on a map, many of them can be connected by straight lines. So the question is, were these sacred sites purposely built at these locations because of the ley lines? Perhaps ancient civilizations built these sacred sites on these ley lines to make use of their energy. Today, many people still hold on to paranormal answers to many mysteries. But with the development of science and technology, people are using new tools to find answers. Science seeks to unfold the mysteries of our world by using theories based on physical evidence. Let's look at an example from our course to see how scientists try to find answers to the mystery of the Iceman. Once the body was extracted from the ice, it was taken in for examination. Upon examination, scientists determined that the Iceman lived around 5,300 years ago. We see that scientists study physical evidence to determine facts about our physical world. Answers come from evidence that can be observed, studied, and measured. In order for scientists to study their findings, they make use of technology. Recent developments in technology have enabled scientists to make new discoveries. They've also been able to collect more accurate data than ever before. Our course mentions how scientists used technology to study the Iceman. In 2001, examiners X-rayed the body and found an arrowhead deep in the Iceman's chest. Using a CT scan, scientists found blood in his brain. I'm sure now you're feeling curious about some of the mysteries of the world. So why don't we explore some of them together? Are you ready? Let's go! We'll look at one of the most famous mysteries of the past century, the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a triangle-shaped area with points at Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. The area it covers is massive, but different writers give different boundaries to the triangle. This means its exact area is not completely agreed upon. The area of the Bermuda Triangle is one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world. Ships frequently cross through it to sail to the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean islands. And airplanes routinely fly over it. So it seems like a normal place, right? But there are many aspects of this area that are pretty unusual. It is said to be a mysterious, deadly, and even supernatural place. Within the past 100 years, the triangle is said to be responsible for the loss of around 75 planes and hundreds of ships. As a result, at least 1,000 people have died in the triangle while traveling. On May 15, 2017, a group of 4 fell victim to the deadly Bermuda Triangle. The group was flying in a private plane from Puerto Rico to Florida. At about 2:10 p.m., they lost contact with air traffic control, and the plane went missing. There were no signs of bad weather at the time. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened, and only a few pieces of debris from the plane have been found. So, what are some of the theories as to why this place is so deadly? Since there is no scientific explanation agreed upon to answer this mystery, some turn to the paranormal for answers. Many scientists, however, are actively searching for answers. Let's start by examining paranormal theories on the Bermuda Triangle. One theory involves the lost city of Atlantis. Atlantis is a mythological place that some believe existed thousands of years ago. People say it was a large island located somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It was supposedly an advanced civilization with sophisticated technology. Some people even believe it was a supernatural place. For reasons unknown, one day the island sank into the sea, and Atlantis was destroyed. Regarding the Bermuda Triangle, some people believe it is connected with Atlantis. They say that Atlantis is on the bottom of the sea beneath the triangle. Atlantis was supposedly powered by crystals, or glass-like rocks that contained energy. These crystals were extremely powerful. Today, it is said that these crystals release huge amounts of energy, which causes ships and planes to malfunction. As a result, they will get lost or sometimes be destroyed by these releases of energy. Another paranormal theory is related to UFOs. Some people blame UFOs for what happens in the Bermuda Triangle. They believe that aliens use the triangle to travel to and from our planet. The triangle area is used to capture people, ships, and aircraft for research. They believe this is possible because they say there is a wormhole in the Bermuda Triangle. A wormhole is like a door that connects different parts of space. While both of these theories seem like something out of a movie, many people believe them to be true. In recent years, scientists have been trying to solve this mystery by analyzing physical evidence. From this, they have reached different conclusions. There are actually several scientific theories about the triangle. Let's look at two of the most convincing theories. The first and newest theory about the Bermuda Triangle is called hexagonal clouds. As the name implies, the hexagonal clouds are responsible for the unsolved incidents in the triangle. These hexagonal clouds create air bombs, which are actually blasts of air in the atmosphere. They can cause winds up to 274 kilometers an hour. This would easily cause a plane to crash or a ship to sink. Also, these blasts of air have been said to create waves as high as almost 14 meters. It's obvious how powerful these clouds are, so it's no surprise why many scientists consider them to be the answer to the mystery of the triangle. Other scientists have collected and studied data on the triangle. They reached the conclusion that there is actually no mystery to the Bermuda Triangle. These scientists do acknowledge the high number of disappearances in the triangle, but they say it is not because of unusual weather patterns or anything else. Instead, there are a large number of disappearances simply because a large number of ships and planes pass through this area. The rate of disappearances is no higher than anywhere else in the world, and there is actually nothing unusual about the area itself. These scientists also examined some famous cases of the lost ships, and they found that human error is to blame for them. Let's take a closer look at a famous example from history, the loss of Flight 19. Flight 19 was a military training flight of 5 military planes. It disappeared on December 5, 1945. The plan was to fly east of Florida, then go north, and then return. However, the flight never returned to base. Navy investigators said there was an error in navigation. This means the planes got lost. Eventually, the airplanes ran out of fuel and crashed. A rescue aircraft set out to try and find the missing planes, but this aircraft also disappeared. A ship off the coast of Florida reported seeing an explosion during the search. According to sources, the type of rescue aircraft used to search for the survivors has a history of exploding when carrying a lot of fuel. The plane definitely carried a lot of fuel for the long rescue search. Between the military planes getting lost and rescue aircraft exploding, we can see that the tragedy of Flight 19 was not the triangle's fault. So, what is your opinion on the Bermuda Triangle? Is it a dangerous place? Or have movies and books made it seem more dangerous than it actually is? Besides the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, scientists are also trying to reveal the mystery of the Nazca lines. The Nazca lines are large man-made markings located in Peru. These markings are made of lines dug into the earth. They cover an area of about 450 square kilometers. Some of the biggest ones are up to 1,200 feet, or 366 meters long. The Nazca lines represent animals and plants from the natural world, and also human imagination. Most of the lines come from between 200 BC and 500 AD. Some may have come later. Their name comes from the Nazca people who lived in that region during the time. Scientists estimate that up to 700 of them may have existed. They sound quite fascinating. But people are wondering, who on earth made these lines, and how? One paranormal theory says that the lines were created by aliens. In order to draw such massive straight lines, aerial assistance was needed. Since airplanes were not invented at that time, aliens are the only explanation. Some believe that it was the Nazca people who made these lines. Although airplanes weren't invented back then, they might have used hot air balloons to survey the land and draw these lines. But most scientists now don't believe hot air balloons were used. Instead, the Nazca people just used simple tools and equipment to construct the lines. Stakes were used with long ropes to draw the massive pictures. Scientists have found stakes in the ground at the end of some lines, which supports this theory. One researcher, Joe Nickel, supports this theory. He reproduced the Nazca lines using only technology available during the time of the Nazca people. By using basic technologies, he and his team were able to recreate the lines without any aerial assistance. The lines are 10 to 15 centimeters deep. They were made by removing the reddish-brown pebbles that cover the surface of the Nazca Desert. When these pebbles are removed, the light-colored earth underneath becomes exposed. This creates a sharp contrast in color. The lines have lasted for so long for two main reasons. First, the morning mist hardens on the lines. This protects them from the wind. There also tends to be very little wind anyway in this desert. Second, the Nazca Desert receives very little rainfall, only about 20 minutes of rainfall per year. So, if scientists say that the Nazca lines were created by the Nazca people, why were they built? The answers to this question have changed over time, and even today, no one can answer this question with 100% certainty. Let's look at some of the more likely answers. Original theories differ from those of today. One original theory states that the Nazca people created the lines to be seen by the gods in the sky. A later theory stated that the lines were used for astronomy. They were supposedly used to point to the places the sun, moon, and stars rose or set during the year. Many other ancient cultures had similar practices. This theory was later modified. Rather than pointing to places the sun, moon, and stars rise and set, the lines were used to represent the stars in the sky. The stars in the night sky form pictures called constellations. The lines were drawn to represent these constellations. Another theory relates to the Nazca religion and environment. Evidence shows that the worship of mountains and water sources was a big part of the Nazca religion. The Nazca may have used these lines as a way to worship their gods. In return, the Nazca hoped that the gods would provide them with water and crops. This makes sense, considering the dry climate and environment of the Nazca Desert. What do you believe is the most likely reason for these lines? Another famous mystery is the mystery spot. The mystery spot is located in the forest outside of Santa Cruz, California. There is a house built on this spot. In this spot, gravity and physics appear to be different. Balls roll uphill, chairs stand on walls, and water flows up the spout. This house first became open to the public in 1940, and it remains a popular tourist attraction today. Original theories about the mystery spot were different than today. At first, people guessed that cones of metal were secretly brought there by aliens. Some believed that it was actually because of a spaceship buried deep underground. Other theories relate to changes in the atmosphere or within the Earth itself in this area. But actually, none of these are the answer. The odd movement and position of objects is just an illusion. The illusion experienced by visitors comes from misjudging the height and position of objects. The house on this spot is tilted. Part of the floor may be hidden, buried, or covered. It is so well disguised that it seems to be a normal, straight house. The different objects placed around the house make it look real, and this gives people the illusion that they are standing on ground level. Because it appears that one is standing on ground level, the brain perceives objects to be positioned and move in a way that defies gravity. Humans have been seeking answers to life and the mysteries of the world around us for ages. It seems like the more we discover about our world, the more we still have to learn. Now, let's quickly review what we learned today. First, we discussed how humans try to understand mysteries. Second, we went into the mystery of the deadly Bermuda Triangle. Third, we explored the Nazca lines of Peru. And fourth, we discovered the secret of the mystery spot. It's human nature to seek answers to life and the mysteries of the world around us. And scientists have contributed to help us solve these mysteries. What mystery fascinates you the most? Why is it fascinating to you? What do you believe is the answer to the mystery? Stay curious about our world, and you will discover more than you ever imagined. Thank you for coming to class, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.